What's going on? We are on our way to Corofin in County Galway. I thought it was County Clare when I put it into Google Maps the other day, and I thought it was a nice handy spin from where I'm living in County Limerick, but it's 123 kilometres and I'm only coming to do a tempo run. It's an awful long way to be going, but it's a race, and I'm going to do something today that I didn't do in a long time, which is wear my heart rate strap. And you know, they say your lactic threshold is around your 10 mile pace, so I'm going to see how this race stacks up against my heart rate data and my Garmin watch and the VO2 max test. And there's no better way to do it in a race, especially a race that presumably I heard has up the hills by looking at race reports, and I'm not afraid of any hills. I haven't done them in a while though, so it is going to be a bit tricky, and the weather doesn't look too good. Does not look too good. It's a day for the arm sleeves, I think, and it'll be a tough race, but I'm doing it just to see. Like I said, I'm not under any pressure anymore these days, and I'm not working shift, so I get to go to these races now on the weekend, and you can register on the day, which is good. So that's what I'm going to do now. What's the good thing about not working shift now? I can be flexible, and I think doing this 10 miler today, because the weather is not so good, if I had to do a session at home on my own, I probably would have struggled to motivate myself, and this 10 miler will at least kind of get me out of my comfort zone, because you know, you're in a race, you're always gonna run a bit harder, try to run a bit faster. So I think I ran for the Charleville half marathon around 5:42 for the half marathon. I think I did 5:49 in Chicago marathon. They were my last two races. So if I can run around 5:30 pace today, I'll be happy. I think that'll be probably about whereabouts where I'm at, 5:30 to 5:35 maybe. If the course is as hilly as they say, I will probably run under 5:40 pace and see how I get on. Let's go out and enjoy it, no pressure. It's very early for a race. I had to get up at 6:15 in the morning, and the New York Marathon is on today. It feels like New York Marathon all over again when I'm getting up at a crazy hour to get that ferry to the Staten Island. So if you've been running New York Marathon this weekend, best of luck and enjoy those hills. I'll be getting them myself today, so I'll feel your pain, and hopefully the weather is good. So I'm in a race against time to get to the registration before it closes at 8:30. The race begins at 9, and there's no looking back now. I feel like I just want to turn the car around and go home, but I'm committed now, I have to go. So let's go and do it. We're here, I have 15 minutes to spare before registration closes, and then nice half an hour to chill out and maybe do a little warm up before the race kicks off. The rain is actually gone, which is good. Hopefully it stays that way. The hills is enough pain. The hills are the only pain I want today. Registration done and dusted. Plain sailing, pretty easy. 30 bucks, give me out my number, and I'm leaving this phone safely in my bag. It's not going into any porta potties today, and it shall be there when I come back, hopefully. Just don't lose the key. So all good. I'm going to do a little warm up. I'm going to have a gel from Decathlon, I think, and I'm going to take one gel with me just to take it around 5 mile. Normally I don't take a gel in a 10 mile race, but I just want to practice taking it to see. I might fit it onto my arm sleeve and go from there. And the weather is looking okay. I've been talking to someone on the course. They've been saying there's a few pulls and stuff on it, so that's not new for a rural Irish race, I suppose. And everybody has to run it, so hopefully they run it slower than me today. Vaporflies today. I only wear the alphas if I'm doing marathons, and I think the hilly course today would be better suited to the Vaporflies. So I got my number 242, and I think someone said there's about 300 people registered today for the race, so should be a good crowd, and there's bound to be some fast runners there. Hopefully they'll set a nice pace and I can hang on to them and get carried around the hilly course. I'm usually always very late for races. I don't get a chance to warm up, but I have 25 minutes now. I think it'd be rude not to get a mile in. So I'm gonna go and get warmed up and do this. I won! First win post injury. 5:28 a mile for the 10 miler. 54.50, and so that's going to be my new threshold, 5:28 per mile. I just ran that for 10 miles. It was a tough course, and I started to tighten up at the end. Really started to tighten up, especially around that groin area, around that sacral area. I had a gap of about 250-300 meters, and it was just cruising on home. And the minute I stopped, I was really starting to tighten up, but it's a win. My uncle passed away yesterday, and I want to dedicate this run to him. So when it got tough, I was just saying his name and kept battling on. So I'm going to go in and take my trophy. All the way up from the Kerry, the Kingdom. How'd you find the race?
Not too bad, don't fairness, like. Yeah, it was hilly, but sure, not bad.
You're from Kerry, that's like a pancake too, it's flat.
It's flat, yeah, exactly.
Come and take it fast now. Well done, Mary Conwell. Corofin AC. All the way, Declan, good on you.
DJ. Hello. Best DJ in Ireland. Thanks a million. How you doing, Shane?
Congratulations.
How'd you? Thanks, buddy.
Well done.
How'd you find it?
It's hilly, man, hilly.
Hilly course, yeah.
It's 10 to 11, it's hilly.
This is as strong as it gets till Tokyo. I'm off the drink, but I'm not off the cakes.
So we're going to be starting with the 10 mile for ladies, 10 mile ladies. Can I ask the following to make the way towards the front? Dee Collins, Emer O'Connor and Sinead Egan. their way to the front. James Tower, are you in the hole? No? Last hole for James Tower from Monreath. James, are you back in the hole?
Just here with the 10-mile winner, Dee Collins. We did our first marathon together in Dublin 2016 and we finished side by side.
We did.
And we've been around ever since, but we always seem to meet up every now and again at a 10-mile or something along those lines.
We might go back to Dublin next year, John, will we?
We might go back, we definitely will, yeah. We'll go home, we'll enjoy this and then put our feet up.
Yay!
Hey!
Thanks a million, bye-bye.
Seatbelts on. It actually turned out to be a very nice day. The rain stayed away and it was actually perfect conditions for running. The course was a typical course for any Irish road race, especially a kind of a rural road race, and nothing too crazy in terms of hills. There was a few drags here and there, but as I said, everybody has to run it, and hopefully they run it slower than you. And they did today. I took the win. I want to dedicate this win to my uncle Paddy, who passed away yesterday. And when the going got tough, I was always thinking about him, and I was digging in. It was a well-run event. There was a great spread, and I had a couple of treats. I had a cup of coffee and a couple of chats, and now we're heading back. I'm gonna try taking some of the New York Marathon, put the feet up, try recover and just enjoy it. First win. So when we get back, we're gonna look at the data and see how it stacks up with the lactate threshold on my watch and the VO2 max test. And there's no better way to hit your current fitness than do a race, and that 10 mile will give me my lactate threshold. Even though the course was tough, you know, I can use that now, that heart rate, the average heart rate of where I'm at, and the pace, 5:28 a mile. So we'll go and we'll dissect it in a couple of minutes. New York Marathon Sunday. I hope you picked the poncho option and not the bag drop, because if you're doing the marathon today in New York, you'll get this lovely poncho and it'll keep you nice and warm. So that's the trade-off between taking stuff to Staten Island or else getting this lovely lovely poncho. So good luck to everyone doing New York Marathon today. Meanwhile, I was in Corofin winning this lovely trophy, the John Joe Higgins Memorial, and a big shout out to Corofin AC, who put on an excellent race, and we had an excellent spread afterwards, and I ended up taking the win, which is my first road win in I don't know how long. I ran 54.50. The course was hilly, let's be honest about it. It was a demanding course, but it's no different than what you see at a lot of rural Irish races anyway. And so hats off to Corofin. There was a great spread afterwards. I had lots of treats, and I just say one thing: if this was a soccer trophy back in the day, I know this would be getting filled up. But no, I have to be good now. I'm going to be good till Tokyo, trust me. So let's talk about the race. I suppose I said I'd probably be able to run around 5:30 for a 10 miler, because you know 10 milers your lactate threshold, right? And I ended up running 5:28, and I was actually happy. I was very happy with that because the course was demanding, like. And if you go onto my heart rate, I'll get it up there. It's 159, and the VO2 max said my lactate threshold was around 160. So it's 159. It was pretty much spot on, I suppose. And if you're wondering, like, but how did I run 162 average for 26 miles in Chicago? Well, I'd spend a lot of time, I suppose, running at 155, 156, 157. And then when it started getting hard, I was pushing on, and my heart rate would have went up, and it would have brought the balance up, I suppose. And I suppose it was a little bit fresher doing the marathon as well. I think I did 50 miles for the week. My week started on a Sunday, so I started off today. Went there, did a warm up, and so in terms of strategy for the race, then I seen a couple of fast lads there, a couple of fast runners. I seen James Dorn from Henriot, and I've never beaten James, so that was my first time, I suppose, racing against him in a long time, and I thought he was going to take out the pace, but he didn't. I found myself in the lead after about 200 metres. There was a lad there named James Elgar, I think, and he took it up, but I passed him out after about 250 metres, and I was behind the lead car, and that's the way I stayed for the rest of the race. And in terms of the strategy, I could hear the vapor fly tap, tap, tap behind me, and I thought, I don't want to have these lads hanging on to the back of me now, and I don't want to be hearing that the vaporfly taps as you, because you know, if you're in a race and you hear that behind you, it's psychologically, it just drives you mad, like, and you're waiting for people to pass you out in. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out hard here for the first couple of miles, and if someone stays with me, they can pass me out in. Alright, best of luck. But I end up staying in the lead, and I end up building up a lead of about a minute maybe after 5 miles, I suppose. And I had a quick look over my shoulder at one section. I didn't see anyone, and I kind of just, I suppose, sailed the ship home. But I was giving it, you know, I was going hard. I wasn't taking the foot off the gas, so to speak, but I was pushing it as hard as I could, but without redlining myself. Look at my heart rate, you'd see my race strategy in one picture, I guess. And I remember passing someone, I think, with 7 miles to go, and I passed someone and said, you have about a minute lead. I was like, grand. And 300 meters up the road, I passed another person, and they were like, you have about 200 meters. I was like, whoa, what's going on? 200 meters? The last guy said I had a minute, so they're either getting faster or else I'm slowing down. And I put the foot down again for the last mile then, and I suppose pushed on, you know. I did a 5:27 and a 5:23, sorry, for the last mile, and yeah, delighted with that. So I'm going to use that now. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a 10 miler. That's my, we'll say, 16k pace. That's going to be my lactate threshold. Now, I'll probably be able to go out and run on a flat, especially around Raheen, maybe 5:25, and keep the same heart rate there. So, you know, depending on the course, will determine if I'm going to use heart rate, or else if I'm going to use lap pace. Now, it'll be interesting to see down the line if I do a lactate test, because I have a lactate machine, I never use it. So I'm gonna run 5:28 in Raheen maybe next week or sometime. I'm gonna do a 5k at that pace, and I'm gonna take my lactate just to see what it is. If my lactate threshold is 160, which the VO2 max did, and which my kind of 10 mile time is saying, my lactate should be around 4 millimol if I run a 5k at lactate threshold. So we go and see it. We go and test it out anyway. And also, I just want to say a big thank you to Dee Collins. We did our first marathon together in Dublin 2016, and myself and Dee finished side by side. So we've been kind of friends since, and we've gone on our own kind of journey, and we've been going this way and that way. We always seem to meet at races, and it's good to see her back winning races as well. She obviously had a good couple of races in the summer in the mountains as well, like, so she has good range, and she took the ladies title as well. It was good to catch up with her, so keep doing what you're doing, Dee. You're flying it anyway. And everyone else, I met a lot of lads from Strava, and a couple of lads telling me they were watching the video log as well. That's good. Keep watching and keep asking me questions, and I'll try answer them as much as I can. And just want to say again, thanks again as well to Corofin AC for a brilliant race. And I'm definitely going to try race a lot more and use them as sessions. I know it's easy to get kind of pulled away in a race if you go and say I'm going to do a session. It's very hard to just go and do a session. You will probably race it, like, but at the same time, if I went today and tried to do 5 miles at 5:28 pace, I don't even think I'd be able to do it on a flat course, because I just wouldn't have the motivation in my head to do it. So I don't even need to do it now at this stage, because my marathon is 4 months away. And going forward, I'm going to use that 5:28 pace as my lactate threshold, unless the lactate data says something differently. Like, and it'd be interesting to see what it says. So I'll probably do that in a training video maybe next week or something like that. And hopefully you're all training well. Thanks very much for all the questions, and keep them coming, because the more questions are coming, it's easier for me to answer. It's easier for me to just say, make one video about this or one video about that, and it'll make it easier for me. And I'm also going to invest in some new sound, because the sound that comes from the GoPro, obviously it's not very good, it doesn't sound great. I'm going to invest in a proper microphone, and I'm going to fix this back wall as well to make it look more like a studio, I suppose, for talking, because I hate sitting down here talking in videos. I'd rather be out in the middle of people. Like, I was only saying it the other day, I had an interview on the Runner's Diary Cork, and I was only talking about I'd rather be out chatting with people with the GoPro rather than sitting here doing it. But we'll keep going and see. Maybe I'll get better at it down the line. And it was ironic as well. I was talking about my other uncle who did Boston years ago, and he passed away last year, and I ended up going back to Boston, then kind of running with him memory, like. And then I had this at the weekend, like, you know, maybe the next day after I spoke on the podcast, my other uncle passed away, like. So, you know, life is short, you know. You never know when your time is up. So enjoy it and keep getting out there, keep doing what you're doing, and keep smiling and enjoy it. And I'll talk to you again in another video. Take care.